Hey guys, Tanya Rubin with Temecula Uncorked. Very excited to be with Mr. Bill Wilson at Wilson Creek Winery today. This is the show in Temecula where we talk about all things Temecula Valley, what's going on, what you need to know, and we explore the wineries together. If you want to get a comprehensive listing of all the events going on in the Temecula Valley, go ahead and text 951-419-4190, and you're going to text the keywords events, and it'll add you to our weekly update that goes up every Thursday morning and get you set up for the weekend. And what else did I want to mention when we were starting to, the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group, Wine Country Living, which also covers same topic, but we get more in depth. We have pictures of people's adventures. We share events that we find that we think are going to be fun, and just get to connect and make plans out here in Wine Country. We also have our monthly meetup, Wine Country Wednesday, on the last Wednesday of every month. So that's what's going on here. Now let's get to the fun stuff. I am super excited. Bill and I have had this interview on the books for a little while. We had to reschedule due to some personal issues on my side of the family. Yeah, it was me. And so I was super excited that we were able to put this back on the calendar and to finally have this conversation, because you, I would say, are one of the pioneers of the Temecula Valley wine country industry.
Oh, by far not the pioneer. I'm one of the pioneers in creating true hospitality component to the winery. There's 14 other. We were the 14th winery, so there's many people that were before me that were the true pioneers, the Harts of the world, the Callaways of the world, the Thorntons, Mount Palomars, to just Bailey, who's still active. However, with all that, there's turnover, and I am now the 4th longest term original winery owner in existence. So that is kind of pioneer-ish.
Well, and I also feel like pioneering in the context of being one of the...
Doing something different.
There
you go. I'll just
what
feed
is it with me and bees? Here's another bee coming to visit.
It's great. We need more bees.
I love the bees, but I did an interview with John from the new Somerset, and we literally had a swarm of bees. Like a whole entire swarm.
Yeah. No, they swarm, and they're nasty. They're nasty. We've had a couple of those.
Yeah. Well, they're not. They're just bees trying to find a new home. I'm a beekeeper, so if I'm in my suit, they don't bother me. But outside of my suit, I like, okay, where's my suit?
You're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Even though they won't bother you if you don't bother them.
Exactly. There's like one right here.
There's your bee lesson for the day.
There's your, yes, exactly. So what I was thinking of is that, in a lot of the wineries that you mentioned, even to this day, remain more on the boutique side, the Harts and the Phil Bailey.
Sure.
And you guys have kind of been a bit of a larger enterprise at this stage.
Well, we've grown beyond our wildest imagination. We've had no intention of being who we are today. This was not how we started. We thought we'd have 8 family members and 1 Girl Friday, and now we got 226 employees and 8 family members. So it's just grown dramatically, and it's all just because we want to continue to give that great customer experience coming out to the winery. And so we sit around and say, you know what, I think it would be fun to sit underneath the vineyards and have lunch. Wouldn't you like that? Yeah. So we do it, and we build it, and guess what?
People
build it
come.
And they will come. So.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny you said that, because I really felt like when I was thinking about our conversation, that was a line that came up in my mind, is like, I feel like you were one of the people in those early days that kind of saw, you and your family saw the, if I build it, they will come.
Well, we were the first ones past, Maurice Curie and Van Rokel at the time, and we were, way down the road. Everybody thought we were crazy to be this far out. And we kept asking ourselves, are we too far out? We'll build it and then it'll come. If I have to get in a monkey suit and put a winery tasting down the road, I'd do it. But
have a little guy down on Rancho Cal dancing sign.
It took us so long to build that once we were open, everybody's interested in what the heck is down there. So that opened up the door for other wineries to fill in the gap, and they did. And so I built some great wineries with Weens and Ponte and South Coast and Lorimar,
Avensol.
Well, Avensol was
there.
Van Roekel, but
yeah.
we've got my brain's so fried from just so much going on, which is a great thing for you and everything else. But
well, it is harvest season. We're doing this interview.
It's
in
harvest season. You know, and which is the greatest season of all. This is our
like
Super
wine
Bowl.
country Christmas,
This
right?
is our playoffs. This is our Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's everything. It's 8 weeks packed in. It's called Crush because it crushes you mentally, physically, and financially, actually. But yet, it's what also sets you forward for the next several years. As you know, everybody that's in the farming and in the wine business is a true optimist. Every year, it's a chance to start anew and to. Everybody thinks that every harvest is the greatest harvest, but we had a really good winter with a lot of rain. Well, normal rain, which is a lot of rain compared to the last 5 years of drought. So it washed the soils. We had great cover crops, and the vines this year are responding absolutely tremendous. But it's really the next year that's going to be the real beneficiary, especially if we have normal rains again. So, again, always hope for the best.
Always hope.
Yeah.
We forget that, such a big part of the wine industry is farming.
Absolutely. It's the essence. It's the whole, it's the cake, and all the hospitality components is the icing. But, we truly grow and care and maintain. These are our babies. I walk through them every single day with walking the dogs to and from work, and it's just such a beautiful.
That's a tough life, walking your dog to and from work through the vineyards.
I kind of have a saying: as much fun as you think owning a winery is, and you work with your family and friends, you party for a living, you have all the wine you want, you have great food in a restaurant. As much fun as you think all of that is, it's even better than what you think it is.
You know who else said that? Yeah. John and Kurt over at Somerset. They're newcomers in the
They're newbies.
In the
they're having a ball, but just wait till they have to start paying everything. You don't make any money in this business. You get wages, and I accumulate massive amounts of wine. We call it the wine bank, and because I can't spend it, but it's there.
Right.
It's an asset, but somehow the college tuition doesn't accept barrels of wine as payment.
You're talking to the wrong people. There's got to be someone who will.
Somewhere. Maybe UC Davis. I don't know, but we have a lot of fun. We get paid in happy dollars, we say.
So take me back to the beginning when you were looking to start this. Way back in
the beginning, and you just had an interview with John at Somerset. That used to be called Keyways, and we came out.
Nice little segment.
Yeah, we came out to buy Keyways. Somebody told me it was for sale. A 75-year-old single guy, no kids, wants out, willing to carry paper. I'm like, heck, that's great.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
What are we waiting for?
Convince the entire family to quit their jobs, sell their homes, and go into business together. In a business that we had no idea of, and so we just basically learned A, the hard way, but B, asking questions, and we know not. We still think we know not, but we're smart enough to know we know not. So we're just asking for everybody's input.
But you didn't buy Keyways.
Oh, no. The more we wanted to buy Keyways, the more he didn't want to sell, and he's specifically responsible for doing that. And in the mergers and acquisition business, we call that circle jerk, where they just get you to play the game so that he knows how much it's worth or whatever for his ego or whatever it happens to be. I don't care. I love Carl. He was great, Carl Keith. But he's responsible for a lot of people that got the idea, and then once they got the idea, they got the bug. Once they got the bug, they get bitten, and now you're in. So he finally sold after probably 5 years of us, and then wanted to have it back again, and then that property has sold 3 times since then.
Yeah.
And I loved when I did meet Somerset. They came in with the best attitude. I'm like, awesome guys, you're coming in, not you saying, hey, just like we did. We don't know what we're doing, and we're willing to ask for help.
Yep.
The last thing, if anybody's out there that wants to go into the wine business, don't go in thinking you know everything, because you know nothing. All you think is what you think, and that can bite you in the butt.
And the best laid plans
the best laid plans. I mean, if I laid this out and from what you see today, from the beginning, we would have failed miserably. We would have failed miserably.
Dig deeper into that. What kind of things did you think you would do that you veered away from, that you're grateful that you didn't do?
Well, it's not that. It's what
Okay.
but opportunities crept up that
Okay.
that just presented themselves, and at the volume of what they presented themselves, the weddings and events and concerts and wine club and all the fun things that we do. We didn't really have any notion of doing that distribution. Well, we find our products everywhere, all over Southern California, and in 38 states. So we had no idea that was going to happen.
What do you think? Because I think you guys were one of the, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the first wineries from Temecula to have that kind of distribution.
Mm-hmm.
What impact do you think that had on the valley as a whole in terms of the awareness of Temecula and
it's a good and bad scenario, because our quality wines that we sell, every drop we make, and it only lasts 6 months on property. We don't have that out in distribution. That's here, but we have as a product that we can replicate over and over and over again. And it's not your highest quality product, but it's something that gets people's attention. It's a little different, the almond sparkling wine, and now the peach and some of the other flavors that are watermelon. Who knew you were going to do watermelon champagne? Oh, come on, that's ridiculous. But yet it's absolutely fantastic, and it's flying off the shelf.
The wine connoisseurs.
Oh, they cringe. Oh God, how could he do that? And I said the same thing, and all the vodka companies, all the whiskey companies, I guarantee Jack is rolling over in his grave that they came out with a cinnamon flavored whiskey, but my God, Fireball.
But it's expensive to do business in the state of California, so you've got to have a...
Times change.
Mm-hmm.
Times change, and it's all what the consumer demands, and they wanted something different. Otherwise we'd still have just straight Coca-Cola. We wouldn't have 7-Up. We wouldn't have all those other ones.
Yep.
And frick, energy drinks. I mean, God, how many flavors of energy drinks are out there?
Absolutely.
Energy drinks weren't around when we started. Red Bull, maybe, which
But
tasted horrible. It was like, why does anybody drink this? Now they got some pretty good.
Drink it as a cocktail.
Now they got some pretty good energy drinks. It was like, whoa, that's pretty good, and it kind of gets you going. But we can't add any caffeine or any byproducts into the wine. Otherwise, somebody would have already.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I've heard so many people. Oh, why don't you add the
and the THC? That's a whole. We're federally not state, so it's a whole different.
It's a whole different. But people will. Oh, well, this would be a great idea. That would be a home run. Well, there's a few rules that you'd have to figure out.
Can we
how
break
to
so I can go kick my team's butt to stop over there for 10 minutes?
Want to take 2 seconds?
Just a break. I'm going to go tell them to stop the production. We're building a new addition to the tasting room to add more space so that we can do another element, and that's possibly staying open a little longer than we already do.
Ooh, I want to hear about this. Yeah. Okay.
All right, be right back.
We'll be right back. So I can see that there's a few of you guys chiming in here. We are set a little bit back from the camera, so I cannot see your comments, but thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I'm excited to learn more and continue this discussion with Bill. And good time to share. If you have any roundups you want me to do, go ahead and let me know what those are, because I'm working on those. I think the next one on deck that we're going to do is a roundup of harvest festivals and grape crushes. So look for that to come out.
And those
I think
are a lot
that'll
of fun.
be next week.
Those are a lot of fun.
They
those
are
some
a
of
ton of fun.
If you haven't stomped grapes, it's on the bucket list. You have to do it at least once.
And that's literally in like the next month or so. It's like crush and harvest season, so everyone's got their festivals going.
It's the time of year, and again, it's a different way of experiencing the wine country. It's not just about tasting the wine all the time. It's a whole sensory, and we do educations along with everything, with the stomping, and And we do education all the time. You know, we have a great seminar series that my brother and winemaker, my brother and our winemaker and our viticulture expert put together, and talk about all the various wines and wine regions and different stuff.
That's a good segue. How many of your family members, because I know it was a family effort, so maybe a lot of our viewers don't, but it was a family effort to put the funding together for the winery, and it is very much
we
a
spent
family.
our inheritance, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
It was a family venture
Sure.
from pretty much the
Sure.
outset, but how many family members are like directly, daily involved in the winery?
Directly and daily are relative words, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, directly or
So they're
otherwise.
like, everyone almost is involved. I know one of my favorite things here is when I come and see Rosemary driving around.
7 and 8. They don't get paid to work, they just hang out.
But it's so sweet when you see her.
adorable.
It's like an iconic moment in wine country when you see Rosemary, which is
Rosie and Jerry,
and
either
Jerry,
one.
yes. But I see your mom.
I
for
pay
some
him $1 for every girl that gives him a hug or a kiss. So, you know, he's a very rich man.
Oh, I didn't know
No,
he
not
had
really
profit.
financially, but from getting all the hugs, and they are just two of the most wonderful, sweetest.
This is Mom and Dad. For
Mom
those
and Dad.
who don't
Rosie
know,
and Jerry
the
are
Wilson
Mom and
names.
Dad. They are just absolutely some of the most kind, gentle, wonderful. I encourage each and every one of you to come here. A lot of people go, well, I don't want to bother them. Please bother them. This place has given them purpose, another reason to live. They get out of bed to come here, and is my job. You know what my job is?
What's your job?
To make sure that they hear nothing but positive about this place. And that comes from making sure that the hospitality, and the last thing I want to hear is, oh, you're so crowded, oh, you're so busy, or oh, the wine sucks, or oh, the server didn't treat me very well. You know, all the various things that you hear throughout, you know, a normal day.
Yep.
My job is to make sure that all they hear about is how wonderful this place is, how great the staff is, which is all true, how wonderful the wines are, which is all true. And you know, I beam when people go, I just met your mom and dad and told them how wonderful. I just go, that's perfect.
Well, and I love that I ran into her one evening, and we chatted for a few minutes, and then she's like, I have to run because there's a couple getting married, and I always bring them a handwritten letter and a bottle of bubbly to commemorate the evening and thank them and help them celebrate. And she personally takes so much pride in that. She's like, that's her job.
When somebody gets married here, we feel that we are actually part of their life. It's a big moment in their life, and we want just nothing but the best for them, which is different than a Ritz-Carlton or anybody else you can get married. Not promoting our weddings, but I'm promoting our weddings. Because we feel that is an institution that's going downhill, and we want to preserve and protect the institution of marriage. So if you can do that little bit of thing, and it's coming from somebody that's been married over 60 years to the same man, I've never seen them argue over trivial stuff. I mean, it's just an incredible love that you can see in their eyes and in their hearts, and their love of not just us as their family, but you all as their extended family, and they want to share what we have with everybody. It's amazing.
It's so sweet.
Yeah,
it's really,
and they're 89 years old, so they're not going to be with us forever. So please come out, and I'm not just saying this to come out, but please come out and say hi to Rosie and Jerry. It fills them.
They are just it is so sweet, and it was so cute to talk to her and because I didn't know, you know, we were just having we bumped into each other.
They're one of your next interviews, you know.
I
Forget
would
me,
love
it's
to.
all about
I
them.
would love to. Let's
it's
put it on
adorable.
the books.
It's adorable.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm in 100%. That just they are iconic, and it's so sweet to see them driving around, and I'll see her at brunch. And speaking of your brunch, I think you guys put on, and talking about being busy and crowded, which is actually, you know, on the weekend is absolutely true. Wilson Creek is a draw, and it is one of the bigger wineries, and you are busy, but we have come here for brunch a number of times, and I don't think we've ever had a bad experience.
No,
And
because
how many sides are you doing for brunch on a typical?
over 500, 500 to 700
So-
on, but we make sure that we have the areas for everybody, that you can come here and feel like you're not part of a mass.
Yes.
You have your little quiet areas.
It's a buffet brunch,
But
and
you can
very,
people watch. It's great.
and it's an extensive,
Sure.
well done.
People say there's only a couple places in Southern California that do a better brunch, but you pay significantly more for it.
Yeah.
We said, since we are the sparkling kings of Temecula, so to speak, with all our different flavors and everything else, I told my team, we need to have the best Sunday brunch. And they kicked and hemmed and hawed and fought it, but man, I said, we have to have it.
Yeah, you've got the omelet station, the roast
Omelet station, we have big barons of beef, we do tri-tip, we have top sirloin. My chef, Steve, I gotta get Chef Steve Stawinski. He's just doing a fabulous job with the food here. My mom's a home economics teacher, and she had her own cooking show back in way before the Galloping Gourmet and all those. She could have been famous, but anyway, make a long story short, she goes, don't ever get a restaurant, it's horrible. And it is, it's horrible business, but yet it's a side business. It's part of what we do, and we do it very well.
I think it's also something that I've said before, and I'll say it again here, that I really believe that one of the things that distinguishes the Temecula Valley from other wine regions is the fact that we are combining food and wine
Correct.
together in the same venues. I really truly think that when people come out, what you described
hospitality component
is the hospitality component. They want an experience,
Sure.
and they come here, and those that are coming here for the first time or revisiting it maybe for the first time in 10 or 15 years are blown away by what the offerings are, because
Correct.
I don't know of
100%
other
agree.
areas that are doing this, having visited the Santa Barbara area for
Sure,
wineries, having
sure.
visited Napa, having visited
In Napa, they're restricted by governance. They can't do weddings, only a few can do weddings. They can't do events, they can't do restaurants. And I get it, they're a massive region, they got cities, you can do that. We're this little tiny footprint that we don't have that. So to get a bite to eat, you'd have to completely go outside the city, outside the wine country, and come on back, and that doesn't make sense. So our county supervisors laid out a foundation of growth and how to do it right, not just try to do too much. You have to have X amount of acres to do X amount of business,
Right.
Because it's all about the farming. It's all about, we have to have 75% of our acreage planted in grapes. Well, if you have a parking lot and you have all this stuff, well, what happens to the grapes? They go away.
Well, that was a conversation that Phil Bailey and I were able to have, talking about how some of the founding or the forefathers of the wine country area really had the foresight to actually put a plan in place that has proved to be a good plan and really prevented this area from just becoming a suburban spread all the way throughout this region.
Absolutely. Because the most popular plantings that were going on in late 1990s and early 2000 were rooftops. We had the Pierce disease, and people were cutting down the vines and planting homes in there, and forever to be taken out of agriculture production. And once you lose agriculture production, you might as well be a strip mall of tasting. We know all about that. It's just no fun to go to a wine bar, so to speak. I mean, if you're in a hotel or whatnot, that's better than going sitting at a regular bar. But to come out here and sit amongst the vines and to watch it grow, and to know that this is going to be a bottle of wine someday that we're going to be sitting here enjoying. That's amazing.
And it's the setting and the environment and the views and
Yeah.
the hot air balloons.
It's all that some
you
you can't get in LA, Orange County for the most part. And
you really truly feel like you've gotten a way to, I've said so many people, again, who haven't been here for years, who come out and they're like, it's like the south of France or the south of Italy, where you've got, some really nice buildings sprouting out in the hillsides, and so many venues are perched on top of a hill with amazing views.
It's amazing, yes.
Really...
I'm jealous. We're down in the valley. We're next to the creek. Yeah, we actually have a creek when it rains, and it freaking floods too. So.
Yeah, this year you really had a...
Oh, we had a raging whitewater, boy. It was woo. It was going.
Talk to me about one of the things that you guys have been able to put together is some amazing concert series that are, I don't know, not to be like offensive or anything, but you're getting bigger names than you probably
are deserving thereof.
You said it, I didn't say it.
Who would play a 1,200 seat venue?
Right, you're getting names that would typically be in 10 and 15,000 seat arenas and are coming from those arenas to stop here on the way. How on earth are you pulling that off?
Well, if I tell you, everybody'd do it. But
okay, well, we'll just leave it at
no, being honest with you, we partnered with K-Frog.
Okay.
And so it's a radio station combination that they know when they play here. K-Frog is our advertising.
Okay.
And we've partnered with K-Frog to do that so they could get names bigger than what little Bill Wilson could do because they know they're going to get some airtime. And then we take really, really good care of them when they come here.
By them, you mean the
artists. The artists. Because, you know, a lot of times they're blowing through a town, they get stuck in a motorhome or a trailer. They don't get, you know, anything other than the fruit and cheese platter. And we treat them to full-blown lunch and dinner, and they stay in our green room, and we offer just a different ambiance and setting for them to enjoy.
So they remember their experience in Temecula.
And we've not heard this once, we've not heard this twice, we've heard it on a multitude of times that this is their favorite venue to play in the entire time that they've played, and that's a lot. So that's, and I'm somewhat, I'm bragging, okay, but in all honesty, we have a really good vibe. We've got great people that come here, we take great care of them, and we always fill their bus with wine, and they leave very happy, and they tell their management teams. So the management team says, oh my God, anybody that it's worthy to make the stopover, and it's a flyby, and it's last minute. It's like, who's on tour with Kenny Chesney? Well, Kenny Chesney can't play every night, singing an hour and a half. These guys come out and they play 45 minutes. Their songs are still fresh. Yeah. So they can jump off tour when Kenny's on a downtime, play the venue, and then go back on tour and be the headliner. Yeah. So they're not the headliners, Luke, Brian and all those guys, but
you've had some headliners.
I know, but we try to get them on their uprise and
and if you get them when they're going up, they'll keep stopping here when they're up at the top.
Absolutely.
And I really also wonder, as someone who's been to a number of these concerts, if part of it is also the fact that it truly is like an unplugged experience. Like it is if you have not been to a Wilson Creek concert, when he gets one of these when the family gets one of these guys here,
Lauren Elena, October 11th.
Yes, that you are like.
I can't announce Morgan Wallen on November 9th.
You can't?
I can't announce
that. Okay, don't do that.
Don't announce that.
You heard it here first, everyone. Oh wait,
the ink is not dry yet, so not sure.
I know all about that, but it's in the works.
Yeah, it's in the works.
It's in the works. It might happen.
Yeah.
Keep checking the Wilson Creek calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the experience, it's truly an exceptional concert.
But we say there's no bad seat.
There's not a bad seat here.
And you'd pay hundreds of dollars to get the same seat at a different venue.
Hundreds. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've stopped doing it. And like when my husband's like, "Oh, you want to go see it?" I'm like, "I really like who's coming to Wilson Creek." Like, you drive in, there's parking that is not $45, right?
Maybe we should charge.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. You park, you walk on over. There's a security line with 15 people in it, maybe, that are checking to make sure we're not bringing in anything we're not supposed to and keeping everyone safe.
Trying to.
And then you check in with your digital ticket and you go over, you get a glass or a bottle of wine for the night. You go they have the dinner box, you get your little dinner box. You sit
Oh,
down.
you're quite the spokesperson here. Wow,
I'm
you're
just
hired.
saying, it is truly, and then it's like, we've never had an evening where it hasn't been that perfect balmy 80 degrees.
Yeah.
You don't need your jacket. It's like,
November
I mean,
9th
not
won't
they,
be that.
they can't control the weather, but
Yeah.
I haven't, you know, the weather here
True.
in the evening is typically pretty consistent, and it's just
But
been,
here's the key. Why do we do good concerts? Because we enjoy them. We've been to concerts that we don't enjoy. We've been to places, so when we're hosting, we want it to be the best experience to come here and the least amount of headache, so that when you leave here, because a lot of these concerts, they get people here for the first time, that they've never been to Temecula. Temecula, where's that? So we kind of use it as a marketing ploy too, and so I ask the question every time, you know, who's a wine club member?
Yes, that's
they
right.
raise their hand.
I've seen you do
then
that.
I say, okay, prepare, you know, wine club members who's here for the very first time, and put their arm around those people and welcome them to Temecula and tell them why they should come back and why they should become a wine club member. And sure enough, they do, you know. And then we post people at the exit, and we hear the, oh my God, that was wonderful. Oh my God, I'm coming back. Oh my God, I had no idea. And it just validifies why we do what we do. And trust me, it's not about the money at all. It helps to keep us open. It helps us to build things.
Sure.
But it's not buying me a yacht anytime soon, let me tell you.
keeping you in a winery.
It's keeping me doing what we love to do, and we thank everybody for that. And you know, we used to do jazz and every once in a while, but Thornton does jazz, and
they get some amazing jazz
and they
names.
do great. I mean, this
Yeah.
whole area does wonderful stuff. We've got throwback concerts.
I love the cover band.
Not the cover bands. What do you call it? The imitation
tribute bands.
Tribute
Yes,
bands.
they're so much fun.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
just because you know.
Close
why
your
they're
eyes
fun?
and it sounds like that.
Right, and
Yeah.
because it's like cheesy and a little
Yeah.
fun, and it
Yeah.
takes you back,
Yeah.
and you relax because you're just, you know,
Exactly.
it's 30 or 40 bucks,
Yeah.
and so you're just everyone's
Our
just there to
concerts
have
are only
fun.
40 and 50 bucks, so come on.
I-
No, I'm teasing you.
I literally gave you like a 7-minute infomercial. But it truly is. I mean, my husband's in entertainment. We've had the
Yeah.
opportunity to have some really good concert experience and VIP
Sure,
fashions,
sure.
but these are, you know, up there in some of the best concert experiences I've personally been to, and that's putting it up there with things like seeing the Eagles
Yeah.
rehearse for their
Oh,
tour
wow.
in a back,
Yeah.
in an air hangar while they're
Sure.
rehearsing.
Oh, wow, cool.
But it doesn't, like, it's
Who's Blake Shelton dating now? What's her name?
Blondie,
Yeah.
short hair.
Okay. We saw her in the same type of setting where she was just rehearsing for
Right, and
upcoming.
it's an amazing, beautiful
Yeah. Oh, it's
experience.
cool.
This
They
to
stop right in the
me-
middle. Stop. Well, we need to change this up. You're watching them change it up, and then you go see them in concert, and they do that in concert, and you go, oh, they changed that at this, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, this is, in my opinion, this ranks up there as
Well, thank
someone who, I mean, I know you do it because you love it, and as
No,
someone
no.
who comes to them.
My wife loves country. My wife loves it. Okay, so yes, dear.
Yes, I will do what I can to
Yes.
get you, and
Well, we
your
make the
birthday, that would
Chardonnay,
be a
yes,
great
dear.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is definitely a highlight when you can catch one of them,
Yeah.
and I can't say enough good things. So, speaking of this noise we're hearing in the background, and you were
Yes.
talking about some
I thought I had
later
that
hours.
stopped.
You know, you have no pull around here, clearly.
Somebody's getting fired.
It was a stop for now.
Well, there's part of me that says, hurry up and finish. There's other stop for a half an hour, and you're stopping progress.
Right.
So, yeah, I told the wrong guy, I guess.
That's all right. It's
you know.
all right.
Oh, well.
You know, it's authentic.
Yes.
And that's why we do.
But we
these
are
kind of
extending
interviews.
our tasting room to accommodate more people and
Okay.
a better situation.
So is this your main tasting room, or your members' tasting room, or both? What's going on?
Yeah, we're extending the members' tasting room, so we moved the members upstairs, and we're never going to get the members out of there upstairs.
No.
No, that's now forever the wine club lounge. It's upstairs. It's great, and so we're extending the lower area, and then having some areas for private wine tasting, to where you can really sit down and really talk to a wine expert on the various wines that we have, that you can choose of what you want to, or we can choose for you what you want to taste, and interact that with food and whatnot. So that's coming down the pike. We did a food and wine pairing that for a while there, and that was, people enjoyed that.
Okay.
But it was just a little weird, because you had the same food constantly. So it was, once you did it, then you had to wait for the menu change. So we kind of provide a menu of tasting choices along with your wine tasting choices, and we show you how to pair those and what pairs well with what and why, and really explain it.
Cool.
Because food with wine and wine with food makes either of them better or worse, depending on the blend. I'm going to go stop this day. I told him.
Don't worry about it. We're good. So, we kind of come full circle a little bit about where you started, and being a pioneer, which you objected to, but I'll still say I think you brought a different vision into the valley.
I did do that.
And
I'll own that.
And have been a part of growing the region to what it is.
That's one of our core values, is dare to think different.
So what do you see for the future of the valley and for Wilson Creek? That's a big question.
No, it's wonderful. What I see for the future of the valley in specific is everybody's raising the game. Everybody's getting better, and it's up to, you're only as good as your weakest link. And so when they go to a winery that's not very nice or whatnot, so we're there trying to educate and help all the farmers and all the winemakers do their very best and to battle what they're battling. It's a battle every year. I don't care what. There's nothing that goes right.
There's always something.
There's always a battle. So we all collectively work together to fight the battle the best we can, and there's always choices, and what choices you make or don't make will affect the quality of the wine, both up and down. Sometimes you can make the wrong choice and screw up a good vintage. So what I see for this valley is that we're starting to get some really quality recognition of the quality of the wines that we're producing. And I'll own that at Wilson Creek, because I fired myself a long time ago as a winemaking expert, because I'd rather be building stuff than making wine. So the wine takes a back seat. So we hired the experts. So now we used to hear, oh, we're the fun winery that has okay wines, and maybe one or two decent ones. Now we're the fun winery with some really outstanding wines, both reds, whites, sweets, dries. Gus, our winemaker, is doing a great job. Greg, our viticulture guy, we call him Bioman. He does stuff in the vineyard that nobody else does. It's just amazing. So what I see for the entire vineyard is an increase of quality. We're going to get that 98, 100-point wine somewhere in the next years or so. I've challenged my team to make it.
Okay.
And everybody else is out there, that coveted $100 bottle of wine that only a few in Napa and Screaming Eagle get to proclaim that they have.
The 100-point.
Yeah, kind of like the bottle shock. It's Temecula versus the world, and South Coast shocked the world when they got the California Winery of the Year. Not just once, but 4 different times, as whoa, who are these guys? And so we're getting some credibility. There will be some more wineries coming in. When they come in, they're not just coming in with a retired school teacher attitude. They're coming in with millions of dollars backing them by big bucks, and that's both good and bad. Because I don't want us to get too commercial. There's some wineries you go to and you're just too commercial. I want to keep it family, but they're multi-ownerships and they're not corporate owned yet.
But it is kind of inevitable that as the region grows, that commercial money is going to see the valley and probably jump in and want a piece of their pie.
Commercial money jumped in, then jumped out.
Right.
Callaway being the specific, owned by a plethora of the larger billion-dollar companies. But those haven't come down here yet. And again, we put in stopgaps so that you couldn't just produce up north and sell down here, you have to have the facilities to build and to grow and make wine down here. And so again, it's both good and bad. But I see
now,
that
challenging on a year when the production might not be as good as you want it because there's challenges in supplementing.
And that's just a business in general,
right.
Anywhere and everywhere
right.
deals with that.
Right.
But there's going to be more lodging that's going to come in here.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner, both directions. There's going to be more event venues. There's going to be amphitheaters. So what we do today here, we're going to have to think differently, and we're going to have to change the way we do business to keep up with the Joneses, or the Carters, or the Pontes, or
the antes,
or whoever. And
right.
and again, that's good for the valley. It's actually really good.
I'm sure there's people who debate that, but it is. But you can't stop progress.
Let me tell you a story. When we first got into business, you get your first newspaper article and you get all excited about it, and a gentleman down the street, John Miramarco, who's no longer with us, would fold that up, write on that, "Good job, way to go, keep up the great work," and put it in, and I'm like, wow, this is a competitor of mine giving me, hey, good job,
right.
keep going.
Yeah.
Why? So I asked him one day, why in the God's name would you want me to succeed? And he goes, I want you to succeed so that everybody goes by my place to get to your place, and when they come back, they go by my place again to see my place again. And so we need more people to get the economies of scale and to raise the bar. And I never forgot that. So I always
iron sharpens iron.
Say, iron sharpens iron,
Yep.
but friendly iron sharpens friendly iron way better than enemies. And there's no reason to fight. It's not Ponte versus Carter versus Wilson versus the number of different wineries. This is Temecula versus the world. This is Temecula versus Napa, Paso, Santa Barbara, all the other regions, because people have a choice when they travel. What region, where are you going?
Where do they get the experience?
Where are they getting the best experience for the best bang of their buck, for the most value and everything else? And we feel Temecula wins that argument. I just went to Napa. It's beautiful. But you better pack a couple Benjamins in that pocket, because they're coming out real quick, because it's very pricey to go up there and taste wine and buying wine and eating dinner. And it was like, oh my Lord, but it's a write-off for me. But it's research.
But you also do, that was what I was talking about earlier, is that when you talk about the experience that you have when you come to Temecula, when you go to Napa, you're also driving miles and miles off. There are some that are close together.
Which is very beautiful miles.
But you're driving along, often quite a ways to go from one destination. The Russian River Valley is not just right next door.
No.
And so when you're in that region, there isn't the accessibility that we have in this region, and maybe some people don't love it. There are some, I'm not saying all, but what we have here is this kind of little pocket that is, a bite-sized, manageable.
As we say, a little slice of heaven right here.
It really is. And it's a manageable, you can literally, there's 40 wineries that are within 10 minutes of each other.
You can do it in a weekend where, you can't even begin to touch Napa in a weekend.
Yeah, I think we're getting hard to do in a weekend.
Yeah, 3-day. I call it, 3-day.
You might be more ambitious than I am.
And I'm on the Visit Temecula Valley board, and it's our whole purpose to go out and showcase what Temecula has to offer as it relates to other vacation opportunities that are available to anybody and everybody out there. Everybody's competing for that, and we want.
And I'm not saying what I'm saying. I think the other regions that we've discussed today are beautiful as well. They're stunning. They have a good experience. I just think that what we offer here, people aren't aware of it as many.
When we first moved here, there was 25 million people within an hour and a half drive of Temecula. At the time, we had bumper stickers that says, "Where the hell is Temecula?" 24 million people had no idea we existed. now after, I know we've spent millions of dollars of marketing, I know VTV has spent millions of dollars, I know there's shows like you that are spending these dollars. I'm very proud to say only 21 million people still have no idea Temecula exists, or if they do, they thought it was like 15 years ago, and they don't know that this exists.
Yes.
Is that a fair statement?
I think that's a fair statement, and it's one of the reasons I love doing this.
Yes.
And talking to people
expose,
and pioneers like you.
These little gems.
Yeah, and to let people like really get an inside understanding of, you know, just how special it is down here.
Sure.
If you haven't been and you're watching this, you got to come say hello. Find Rosemary, find Jerry,
find Rosie
give
and Jerry.
them a hug.
If you don't find me. If you don't find me, find a Wilson. If you don't find a Wilson, find somebody that has that smile. We call them blue shirts. There's
you literally, that I think you hit the nail on the head too. Is like it is so important whether it's a bar back or a gardener or all the way through. Like you don't know what one person is going to do and make a difference in someone's visit. One person giving the wrong look or saying the wrong thing.
Beatings will continue until hospitality improves. I will beat them, right?
and because really it takes not that much to set people on a poor direction, but so much has to go right.
Yeah.
And I think that you know, more often than not places are doing, and the weekends are a challenge, I think, for a lot of places to keep up with the volume when you have a lot of traffic.
It is.
You guys do a good job of that here because there's so many
really
different areas that people can go to.
Because that's been our problem from get-go, is that we're too crowded, and we think we're too crowded for a reason, and that we have a very good offering, and you know, build it and they will come, and they do. So we want to continue to provide that quality experience, so they continue to come back and they continue to share it with a friend, and we talk about that.
I love it.
Daily, if not weekly. I mean, it's very important to us that when somebody comes on this property and they leave and they go, wow, that was great.
Well, I know that I've introduced people to the property that have had and feel that exact way about it, and I want to let you get back to building some more tasting rooms and building the Wilson Creek Temecula empire, keeping you in the wine business off the boat. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
And thank you guys for listening and enjoying her little podcast. You know, and you get somebody like yourself that is just so full of enthusiasm and zest for life and everything else. It's welcomed, and thank you for doing what you do. And presenting a very good story out to people that aren't otherwise going to hear it. So.
Well, it's something I'm certainly passionate about.
Yes, you are.
I want to thank everyone for watching. If you're watching this and there's a like and there's a heart that you can hit, subscribe, all those good things, please do. Don't forget, if you want to keep up to date with what's going on in the Temecula Valley, join Wine Country Living and then text 951-419-4190. Thank you very much, Bill Wilson, for taking time today, and we will be back again next week for episode 40 of Temecula Uncorked. And today is the Wine Country Living Facebook group's 1-year anniversary. So I'm super excited that group is growing and thriving, and can't wait to see what everything has in store in the future. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, and the button is there.